everyone, welcome back. Today's video, we're going to talk about common mistakes in fat loss. We're going to talk about things I see and questions I get asked in my practice to kind of clarify and just make your fat loss journey a little easier. I'm hopefully educating you a little bit better so your journey is a little more seamless. Maybe you have more success so that you can enjoy a really successful process. Fat loss is not easy. Menopausal fat loss is not easy. There are common mistakes that many of us make just because we don't know any better. I'm hoping to kind of clarify and give you a little more support in your fat loss journey. I'm Connie Rutledge. I'm a fat loss specialist. I'm a menopausal fat loss specialist, and I'm here to help you with your journey. Number one issue with a lot of us is we don't eat enough. So our deep dive into low-calorie dieting, I mean, that's how we were taught, right? Eat less, exercise more. Well, the science tells us that's not true. Of course, calories are measurements of fuel, and we want to make sure we have the right amount of fuel in our bodies so that we can be efficient. But for the most part, that's a flawed theory, calories in and calories out, and I think most of us know that. But many times, as we have kind of gone down the road and struggled with fat loss or maintaining a healthy weight, we restrict our food. And when we restrict our food, well, unfortunately, our metabolism also gets a little bit slower, because that fuel source that the body needs so desperately to do all the things, those metabolic processes, the body starts to just kind of tone down the fire so that it can conserve. And that's how we're designed. So the way that we were taught, eating less and maybe eating less calories set us up for a big disaster with our metabolism being blunted and shunted. And I just want to encourage you to appreciate that your body needs food. We just need to know the right fuel mix, the right type of food. Typically, it's going to be high protein, especially as a menopausal woman. We're going to want to be eating higher protein, good quality fats, and low carb. And we need to be doing that consistently. Conversely, on the other end of the spectrum is, this is not news to anyone, but eating too much. And a lot of times what happens, I hear complaints and concerns of many of the women I work with, is that, you do really good on your diet all day long, and after dinner, you somehow can't stop yourself from binging, you overeat, you eat the wrong things, or you just pile on all your, intake, all of that caloric load in the evening hours when you're winding down. It's a big problem. And that's where willpower and understanding comes in handy, because if you're understanding that you need to fuel your body in the day while you're producing, while you're, exercising, while you're working, and then stop fueling at night so your body has time to process and utilize that fuel, well, a lot of times we've got it completely backwards. And sometimes even in the practice of intermittent fasting, when we're trying to, use a few more hours in the fasted state, and if we're not really fueling our bodies properly after the fact, we can set ourselves up for failure by, not having enough fuel on board. And then later in the day, especially into the evening, we are feeling kind of out of control. and we just want to feel better. So the body says eat, just because it hasn't had the fuel needs met, and it feels like it's starving. So we are going to seek out, what we need so that we feel like we want to feel. And let me tell you, how many times have you kind of beat yourself up because you did great all day and you were efficient and you restricted and you said no to yourself, and then you took a bite of something, even a healthy meal, and it kind of shifted you into this kind of altered state where you just can't stop. And you're not hungry at all, but the sweet cravings are there and the habits are there, and you are, halfway down a half gallon of ice cream wondering, what the hell? That's when we really need to have a plan. Shame and beating ourselves up gets us nowhere. Understanding, mistakes happen, okay. But if you're restricting, if you're eating low calorie and not enough day in and day out, and your body is literally starving, then we need to fix it. So undereating is a big problem, and undereating all day and then overeating at night, well, that's another huge roadblock in fat loss success. So another big mistake that I see typically is not varying up your routine. All right, our bodies are designed to be kept guessing, and that's where we're most efficient. When we can, maybe do a great job at intermittent fasting 5 days a week. Maybe you're going 14 to 18 hours in the fasted state, and then you're eating for 6 to 8 to 10 hours in a couple feeding windows, and you're doing that 5 days a week, and then 1 day a week you don't fast at all. That's another way for your body to kind of go, whoa, what's happening, and paying attention to a different cadence. And then for maximum fat loss, then we're going to want to do maybe even a longer intermittent fast, 1 day a week. So if you are struggling with fat loss, if you haven't been successful at making a dent in, what you need to do in terms of losing weight, then what about you decide you do an intermittent fast 5 days a week? You don't fast 1 day a week, and then 1 day a week you don't eat at all. That's the 5-1-1 method that I talk about. And it is something that gives you, it doesn't have to be 5 consecutive days in a row where you're doing the same thing. But if, Tuesday is a busy day for you and you are metabolically, kind of in a good place, you've stuck to your diet, your weight is coming off, then maybe you want to do a 24-hour or 36-hour fast to really kind of tap into stored fat in a way that you haven't been able to do before. If you do that once, if you try that once and learn how almost effortless it can be, then you might be on your way to something really special in terms of lasting fat loss, because it's going to really heal your metabolism. It's going to clean up old senescent cells, and that longer time in the fasted state is really going to allow your metabolism to soar. In fact, it's going to increase your metabolism. And yes, this might seem scary to you, especially if your blood sugar is all over the place. So I don't recommend this, right off the bat. It's something you're going to work into. But it's a great way, that 5-1-1 method is a great way for you to kind of increase your metabolism, to really kind of calm your relationship with food if you've got issues there. And having that just kind of plan to kind of work up to might be a really, really important piece to your fat loss puzzle. Another thing that's very important, obviously, is what you're eating. Eating clean is important. The food that you eat is information for your body, and when it gets the information to, build muscle, maintain muscle mass instead of, and we get that by eating plenty of protein, instead of the high glucose from too many carbohydrates, the wrong kind of carbohydrates by way of ultra-processed foods and seed oils and all those things that are going to cause high inflammation in the body. By eating high protein, low carb consistently and over time, that's going to unlock your metabolism so that you can then feel more balanced. You can feel more in control and really be able to stick to things without carb cravings, without excessive hunger, and that's going to go a long way for you in your fat loss journey. A next thing that I really want to discuss is supplementation. Okay. So I was shopping at Costco this week, and I walked in, and there's the rows and rows and rows of New Year's supplements. There's the multivitamins in all forms. There's the synthetic ones like the One-A-Days, there's the Nature Made, there's the Smarty Pants, there's the Kirkland brand. And I don't buy my supplements at Costco or anywhere other than a professional grade storefront. I have my full script, as you know, that I offer a 15% discount, and that's not even why I'm bringing this up. I'm bringing it up because I was really, flabbergasted at the inferior quality of the supplements on the market in the stores today. When you take a multivitamin, and I do recommend that, I want you to look at the B vitamins in that multivitamin, okay? I want there to be something called methylfolate as your B9 and methylcobalamin as your B12. If your multivitamin says folic acid or cyanocobalamin, now the folic acid will be a synthetic form of B9, and that's not good for you. That's not going to elicit energy. And why are you taking something that is subpar? You're paying money for your supplements, and I want you to be taking the highest quality that you can find. When you understand that the methylated versions of the B vitamins it's a sure thing as far as fuel goes. Your body's not going to have to simulate it. You're not going to have to store it. I just want to stress that if you're taking a supplement for energy purposes and to support your body, please make sure it's a quality supplement. We don't want synthetics. We don't want a bunch of, subpar formulas in our bodies, because that's almost like more noise, and it's just not what we want to do. So educate yourself, look at the quality, and learn about the supplements that you're putting in the body so that you understand what they are and what they're doing, and if they're good for you. I hope this creates an image in your mind, a way of thinking, an understanding, so that you can have a seamless plan. Everything is a choice. Hopefully, if we're educated properly, we can choose better. We're all going to make mistakes, and we're never going to do it all perfectly. But education, awareness, conscious mindfulness, and just being present for our daily practice to do better and be consistent. Upgrade yourself so that you can feel and look exactly the way you want to. It's a process and it takes effort and it's worth doing. So hopefully that's a little bit of clarity for you so that you can have a better way, a seamless effort into success. All right, hopefully this was helpful. Let me know in the comments what your process is, if you're succeeding, how you're doing, and I hope this was helpful. You've got this, okay? All right, we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.